Well, you've held many posts, including Minister of Entrepreneurship, and all our business schools now are really underscoring the importance of entrepreneurship, as Malaysia is.
Yes.
How is that going in Malaysia? What support do entrepreneurs get?
We had the first generation entrepreneurs in Malaysia who built the country. For example, we had someone who started in construction and is now investing in America in the gambling industry. He's the one who opened this one of the resorts in Singapore. Yeah, so he started from nothing. He's one of the biggest entrepreneurs. So that was the first generation, and we're concerned that this might not be sustained for second, third generation. So it is important for us to make sure that entrepreneurship flourishes. So we have training programs, exposure programs. We believe as a developing country, any country needs entrepreneurs. And the first generation, they started business about 60 years ago after the Second World War. Yeah? They built the country, and some of them have gone out now throughout the world to do businesses in America, in Europe, in Australia, in Asia, in Singapore, in ASEAN. We're proud of them. But families have got to continue producing entrepreneurs. So what we're doing in Malaysia, we have entrepreneurship programs in schools, programs in the universities, and the government provides funding to some of them. But the government can only provide the assistance, the facilities. We need the driving spirit, we need the commitment, we need the passion for entrepreneurship. It is very important.
Do you find that your entrepreneurs have a global perspective, that they're looking to build their companies in Malaysia, in ASEAN, in Asia more generally, and then across
some
the world?
of them. We are a small population, only 27 million people, and naturally our market is limited, and therefore they have to go out. They have made money in Malaysia, and they've been investing some of this money overseas, and of course some of the profits are being repatriated, so we are benefiting. So our entrepreneurs have gone to the Middle East, they've gone to India, they've gone to ASEAN, they have set up banks in ASEAN, plantation companies in Indonesia, but at this point in time they are mainly confined in the ASEAN region, and also in China and India, in the Middle East. Not too many in Africa, not too many in America yet, but going forward, I believe that more and more will look for opportunities in America as well.
Malaysia's always encouraged research and development. This was an important part, even with foreign investment coming in. Has it borne the fruits of R&D?
I must say that's one area that we need to continue working hard. In terms of proportion to GDP, I would say that we're not doing as well as some other countries like Japan or Korea in our part of the world. So the challenge for my government now is to step up research and development in Malaysia. The one is the quantum of money spent as a proportion of GDP. The other is most research and development is being concentrated in public institutions, in the universities, government institutions. We would like to get the private sector to be more involved in research and development. So that's a challenge for us. We've been very strong in tropical medicine, probably #1 in the world for many years. Very strong in rubber research, #1 in the world. Very strong in palm oil research, #1 in the world. Those are our strengths. But we need to go beyond that. We need to go to manufacturing, into systems, into processes, into productivity. So those are some new areas that we need to work on. And of course, universities have got to play a very important role in research and development.
As a former Minister of Agriculture, were you involved in developing renewable resources? Georgia is an agricultural state as well, and we're trying to develop new fuels for the future. How is that proceeded in Malaysia?
I was unfortunately only 1 year as Minister of Agriculture, but our focus is to value add. We produce agriculture products, but the challenge was for us to process those products to get higher value. So that was the challenge. and we have a number of companies global like Nestle in Malaysia with a turnover of about $1 billion US, and their job is to process some agricultural commodities into higher value added products. So that was a challenge that I faced. In renewable energy, we have done some work on biodiesel. We used to be #1 for 40 years in palm oil production. And now Indonesia has overtaken Malaysia in the last 2-3 years. We're #2 in the world, but for many years, for 40 years, we're #1. So what we've done, as an example, in the area of renewable energy, is to go into biodiesel, and we have a number of foreign investors, foreign companies and others. But unfortunately, this industry has not been doing too well because palm oil prices have gone up. Of course, people in biodiesel would like to buy palm oil at cheaper prices. So palm oil is being sold for normal consumption. So it is not doing as well, but there will come a time as there's more research and development when cost of production come down. And going forward, of course, we have shortage of fossil fuels. It makes a lot of sense to be more aggressive in the development of biofuels and renewable energy. Another is we have a lot of biomass in Malaysia. The oil palm estates, for example, the frond and the stem, and much of that is being wasted at the moment, burnt and allowed to rot away, and there's a lot of potential for that. So some of our companies have gone into developing energy from biomass. So there's a lot of potential.
Is there potential for partnerships for Georgia companies that are developing fuels from the forest waste that we have, fallen branches and wood chips?
We were very keen. My government has put in place a number of incentives, including funding and concessionary rates for people to venture into renewable energy. It is something that we are focusing on. Yes, one district that I am doing in Atlanta. I hope to be able to see companies which are involved in renewable energy. We're very keen because we have lots of resources.
Right.